A happy Thursday to you. I'm coming to you here at the Roxbury Congregational Church for our latest installment of the Thursday Mystery Church Tour. You may have already guessed where I am this week. If you look out this way, you're looking out the back. There's a window here in the attic of the church that looks out toward the back property to the horse pastures are out back. Look over this way toward what is now David Lincecum's house, the old parsonage. And coming back this way, being careful not to drop my phone, you get to see the attic space. And let me call your attention to the wording there on the beam there. E. Pitcher, H. Ballard, 1887. And L. looks like Lyman or Lugman or something. I'm not sure what that is. But if you look down, you get to see the air conditioners, the two air conditioning units that cool off our church. And if you look there in the middle, you see the pile of insulation, which is with a rope coming out the top. That is the place where that is right above the center chandelier at the church. And kind of the fun thing about that is if you pull up on that rope, there's a trap door, if you will, that opens up right above the light. I always had this great fantasy of being up there and opening up that and looking down with people in the meeting house and going, "This is God," and speak to them and scare the bejeebers out of them. But I haven't had the opportunity, and now I've just given it all away, so you'll know who it is if it ever happens. But I wanted to show you upstairs in the attic space. Space that I'm sure many of you have never been to and nor want to go into. And if you look, you'll see that off to the sides, with the rounded ceiling, it curves down toward the side walls. It's kind of warm up here. And I came up here, quite frankly, I'm going to put a cloth over this window to try to keep some of the radiant heat from coming in from the sun. But this room gets pretty hot up here. Quite frankly, I think the trap door there was an old form of air flow. They would open that up and open up the trap door in the steeple and allowed the heat to rise right up straight up through the steeple to cool off the church. With if you opened up the windows and open that up, the air flow obviously would go, the heat would rise and go up out the steeple and cool off the room. Today, though, I want to call your attention that this is a kind of a hot space. And in the midst of all the hot space, you have these cool plenums from the air conditioning units that blow cool air down into the meeting house. Isn't it true in these days when we find ourselves sometimes getting angry and getting hot, if you will, that there's always a need for someone to have a cool head, to circulate those cool breezes in the midst of our lives that cool us down and center us back into the places where God would want us to be. And the air conditioning units, a wonderful gift, by the way, of one of our parishioners who's still with us. And we have enjoyed for all these years. I am so grateful to that family for providing the funding for the air conditioning. But it does remind us that in these days there is a need for cool heads. There's a need for us to have a sense of perspective. And that's part of what the church is about, is a place to come and calm down and cool, breathe deep into our lungs, the breath that God has given us, to ponder what God calls us to be about and to be that leavening in the world. So this week, I want you to think about, even though we're heading toward fall, there are still these warm autumn days ahead, that there is need sometimes for a little coolness to flow into our lives. And may it be so. Blessings to you. Have a great week, and we'll see you next week for the Thursday Mystery Church Tour. Blessings.